and an animal here and there. So there's a lot of picking up and running after to do. How do you, Edmund, you've got 3 little ones. Helen's had her share of looking after the little ones, and she's made that conscious choice to go without help and let the kids learn to be independent. But for you, do you encourage your children to help in the home even though you have help at home?
Oh, definitely. Basically, for the kids, we start with small little chores first, like cleaning up after they eat finish, cleaning up their toys, so learning how to clean up and wash their clothes, pick up their clothes, put on their clothes, stuff like that, because they're so young. So even to put on a shirt, to wear a shoe, that's a problem for my youngest one and for number 2. So basically we train them from small little things like that, so as to teach how to be independent and how to look after themselves, because like what you said, I don't think I'm going to have help forever,
right?
And grandma and grandpa is great to have around now, and that's what really helps us along the way as well. But at the end of the day, they need to be independent, they need to be able to fend for themselves.
That's
so
right.
That's important.
And because you have 3 there, it's 3 times the effort, isn't it? Right. Rather than running around after 1, 2, you've got 3 to run after.
Yeah.
So is there this need to try and get them independent sooner rather than later? Celine?
I think it would be definitely a good decision that they become more independent. My oldest one is pretty independent on his own. It comes to a point whereby there's faring that needs to be done, in the mornings and all. But he's independent enough to go to school right now by train. But the younger one also, second one follows the daddy to school, and then they've.
Parenting Made Easy on 938 Live.
Good evening, I'm Susan Ng, and we're back on Parenting Made Easy. Today we're celebrating children, and I have 3 guests from I Love Children. Celine Yeoh and Helen Lim Young, who are board members of I Love Children, and Edmund Tay, who is a blogger. And you contribute towards a blog for I Love Children. Yes, we'll find out more about that from you. Now, just before the break, we talked about time. And we said that some people cite the lack of time and use that as an excuse for either not having children or having just one, because they don't want to, split their time. But you guys have 3 children each. Edmund, you have little children, 3, 4, and 6. Helen, 15, 16, 18. Celine, 11, 14, 16. So how do you manage your time? This is the million-dollar question. How do you ensure that you have enough time to spend with each of your children so they don't feel like mommy's, playing favorites with one or the other? Helen?
Well, one thing is that my husband helps out really good. So I guess that really helps, because it's like a commitment that we had, that when we have children, both of us will be into it together, and housework, everything we'll do together. So and as for making sure that we have time, this thing about rituals. So we try to preserve things that we like to do together, and like even now, bedtime, I make sure I tuck my kids in, even they're so big, right?
Excellent.
Yeah, they're big, but that's a time when we wind down and we talk, and they all like different things, even if it's massage on the feet, massage on the shoulders, but it's just winding down time, and those times need to be protected.
Do you have date nights with some of your kids? Individually, you go out just with that
Individually, we
child?
do, like shopping with one, and then shopping with another day, and then shopping all together. Yeah.
You mentioned spousal help, and Celine and Edmund, you both nodded your heads vigorously. That is important, right?
Yeah,
Your
that's
husband
right.
also chips in, Celine?
Yes, that's right. In the mornings, he will go to the daughter and him will go to the MRT together, and that's really good daughter and father bonding time. He also sends the son to school, so that's really also a good bonding time. So a lot of, as you mentioned, most of them ask, when the children were younger, how do you divide your time? I say I don't divide my time, I multiply it. So it's really a mindset change. Why do you say you divide, your time with among your children? What you have to do is really multiply it and make it fun and make it happening.
Yeah.
So if you were to change that mindset. That's how you see your children, and that's the love of it, and that's what makes things happen between you and the children. Like Helen said, I still give my hugs and kisses to my eldest son. You know, sometimes he cringe, but you know, that's a fun time, and that's in the evenings. And then, you know, you just like pat them, you know, for my daughter as well, and my youngest one. So that's really, you know, rituals are very important as well.
And I bet you're going to say the same thing. Rituals are important.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also to protect my own time, I make sure that my children sleep early. Because sometimes if I'm having 3 children, you don't have time for yourself. So what I do is that I make sure they sleep early. They sleep about 8 or 9, so that I have time to spend time with my wife. You know, to go out or to go for a movie, to go out together to eat. You know, that's very important as well as a couple. Yeah.
Right, and you're the spouse that the 2 ladies are mentioning about. Right? They were talking about having husbands helping out.
Yeah.
So you're the husband helping out here, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you play an important role in the lives of your children as with your husbands.
Yeah.
And I know mommies are, you know, everyone talks about mommy, but you know, daddies are important too. And you also happen to write a blog.
Yeah, I write a daddy blogging blog. So it's about a daddy blogger who blogs about his life with 3 kids. So I started it when I had my first kid, and basically because it was an outlet for me to place my pictures, you know, to update grandma and grandpa about what's happening with the children. And because some of my friends read it, they liked it, so from then on it just picked up speed, and I've been doing it for the last 3 years. Yeah, so it's great fun. It's an outlet for me to write about stories, you know, to let my friends laugh about what's happening in the family and the little things which we all do together. Yeah, so it's
Right.
really fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've heard from all 3 of you about the joys of having children, and you're 3 very obviously happy parents, you know, with 3 children each, little ones to big ones, and you know, you're discovering things every day.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're with I Love Children, and I'd like to read a little bit about you from your website. You're a BWO. You were set up some years back, and the purpose of I Love Children really is to keep Singapore young.
That's right.
And that's important in today's
Yes.
context, isn't it? Because we're
That's
talking
right.
about an aging population, and you want to advocate a higher priority to having children and promoting a society where children are loved.
Parenting Made Easy on 938 Live.
Welcome back to Parenting Made Easy. 3 of my guests have made parenting sound really, really easy. They're all smiley, and they all sound so happy talking about their children. I don't know if they've got lots of challenges, whether the kids give them any problems or not, but I'm going to guess that they're not tiger mums and dads.
No.
No.
No? What's your parenting style like? Do you have to be strict because you've got 3?
Give them a lot of leeway.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you've got a lot of rope,
leeway.
yeah?
As long as principles are laid down, common understanding, talk through. If there's any disagreement or anything we need to negotiate, then let's talk. Yeah, but no really hard and fast rule like you have to do this because I say so.
Okay. What about you, Celine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm easygoing. You know, let's say like a computer time, you know, give them a limit. Some of them say, you know, they cannot do it at all. But to me, computer time is a given. You know,
In
give them
today's
some time.
context, yeah.
Yeah, it's a given. So, you know, if you work around that given, then you're able to manage expectations, you know, from the oldest to the youngest. So you set your boundaries, and well, they will follow, you know. So that's what I do in my family.
I think that's the key, isn't it? To manage expectations. You expect something from your kids, and they expect something from you and their father, and in this case, their mom as well. Yeah? You've got little kids still,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming discipline.
Sometimes I try to be quite firm with them, but it's important because at a young age, sometimes they need to be taught what from right from wrong. But what really helps me sometimes is that my wife is very supportive at that point, at the moment of time, because you know sometimes they make silly mistakes and you just want to laugh and you want to be firm at the same time. It really helps when mommy is there supporting you to give that firm face as well. But actually quietly behind your back you're like laughing, you know, like like what? How silly can they get, you know? And you just want to laugh, but you know it's something that you need to do. And the best thing is that when you do it together with your wife, that really helps because you send a consistent message to them, and from that, I believe they know what is right and what is wrong. Yeah.
We started off this hour by all of you saying that you want to advocate and you want to encourage couples to have children. And there is something called the Parenthood Pledge.
Yeah, that's right. There's a Parenthood Pledge. You log on to ilovechildren.org.sg and you'll be able to click on an icon. And if you were to sign that pledge and conceive, not deliver, by June 2011 this year, I Love Children will give you some vouchers. So check out the website at ilovechildren.org.sg.
So that's the I Love Children baby bonus.
Something like that, yes.
Okay.
I won't tell you how much.
Okay, so they'll have to click on your website to check. Now, just one last comment from each of you before we end Parenting Made Easy. If you had one thing to say to your children right now, I'm assuming they're all listening. If not, you want to know why, right? So I'm assuming they're all listening. If you had just one thing to say to your children now, what would that be? Who would like to start? Edmund, okay.
I would say Daddy loves you. Because they're quite young, they're 6, 4 and 3. So I think just telling them I love them and Daddy misses them every day. That's important for me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, same thing. I love you, Darren, Rachel, and Jared. I expect more hugs and kisses tonight.
Ooh, I'm not sure about Darren wanting those hugs, but okay. And Helen?
Yeah, I would say share your heart with us. Let us know what you're going through, and we'll always be supportive of you.
That's important, yeah? To have your children share with you, particularly when you have 3, and time, because you all 3 work, you're professionals, and you don't really have that much time. But as one of you said earlier, you can make time. Why divide when you can multiply? So make the time to be with your children. And when they share with you, then your joy is multiplied too, right? And their joy too. So hopefully, you know, the joy that's emanating from Edmund, Celine, and Helen will encourage those of us who are wondering, is it really time? Do I really want to have children? Hopefully, is that what you're hoping from I Love Children?
Please, go ahead. You know, have your children, but go with the flow. That's what's important. I mean, you can plan, but then once you over-plan, you know, the first child comes, and then, you know, the second one, just go with the flow. That's really what's important.
Okay, so go with the flow, have the children, have fun with them, and as you all say in your website, the joys of parenthood far outweigh the challenges along the way. So to all parents,